In the southern reaches of the Arabian Peninsula, there was once a city where hunger was a totally foreign concept. Food and resources were so heavily abundant that travelers passing through the nation of Saba never even needed to carry provisions. The engine driving this prosperity was the Marib Dam. It was a colossal feat of ancient engineering, a massive stone wall that allowed the Sabaeans to completely master the unpredictable water supply of the desert. By trapping seasonal rains, this dam effortlessly irrigated vast, perfectly calibrated orchards on either side of the city. It created a reliable, year-round agricultural paradise out of arid land. A civilization built on absolute stability and infinite water does not usually vanish overnight without a massive external cause. And yet, Saba was not conquered by a foreign army. The foundations of this empire were rooted in something more fragile than stone and irrigation, the specific way the people viewed their own success. At the height of its power, Saba was ruled by Queen Bilqis. She was a deeply pragmatic and capable leader, overseeing an era of unmatched regional influence. Her reign faced its first true test when a letter arrived from Prophet Suleiman. He was a ruler possessing immense supernatural dominion, and his message demanded that she submit to divine authority rather than relying solely on her worldly power. Rather than rushing into a war, Bilqis deployed a diplomatic test. She shipped massive quantities of gold and jewels to Suleiman. She wanted to see if his motivations were driven by ordinary greed or a genuine prophetic purpose. Suleiman immediately returned the treasury. He stated clearly that divine truth and the blessings he already held were infinitely more valuable than any metal she could dig out of the earth. Later, Bilqis traveled to meet him in person. As she walked into his palace courtyard, she encountered a floor paved entirely with sheer, polished glass. Believing she was stepping into water, she instinctively lifted her dress to cross. In that moment, she realized her massive wealth and sharp intellect could be bypassed by a simple architectural trick. It revealed a blind spot in her own mastery. By publicly acknowledging her own vulnerability, she traded her ego for spiritual humility. That shift secured divine favor and allowed her empire's prosperity to continue. Centuries passed, the water still flowed, and the sprawling mud brick towers grew taller. But the psychology of the people inhabiting them mutated. The later generations looked at their endless orchards and their massive dam and concluded they were the sole authors of their success. They credited their own intellect, their own labor, and their own flawless engineering. When gratitude is removed from a society's operating system, abundance curdles. The blessing of infinite resources twisted into a dangerous, isolating arrogance. New prophets arrived in the city to deliver a blunt warning. They told the people that their unchecked pride and complete lack of gratitude was building a trap that would inevitably destroy them. But the citizens of Saba only laughed. They pointed straight to the imposing stone walls of the Marib Dam as undeniable proof that they had conquered nature and outsmarted fate entirely. They erased divine providence from their minds, replacing it completely with a fatal overconfidence in their own hands. The massive, indestructible Marib Dam finally fell to an entirely unexpected force. It was brought down by rats. Rodents dug deep into the stone foundations, slowly hollowing out the structural integrity of the dam. The citizens above, blinded by their own self-assurance, entirely ignored the physical warning signs mounting right under their feet. Then came a quiet night, where the hollowed-out base simply gave way. The reservoir that had guaranteed their wealth instantly became a weapon of destruction. Millions of gallons of water violently tore through the valley, obliterating the mud brick towers and sweeping the entire population away in the dark. When the sun rose, the utopia was gone. The meticulously engineered orchards were scoured down to bedrock, eventually replaced by dry dirt and thorn bushes. The civilization was completely erased from the map. The wealth didn't pull the stones apart, the ungratefulness did. When a civilization believes it is entirely self-made, its arrogance builds the exact structures that will ultimately drown it.